Hi everyone, I'd just like to try out a new game that I've sort of came into my mind this afternoon on the treadmill and out in the shed this afternoon. It's amazing where ideas come from. And it's called Estimation Bingo. And it's primarily for junior kids, F to 2 perhaps. And it's all based around grabbing handfuls of counters, estimating and then developing counting strategies in working out how many are in the group. And what we're looking for is, rather than counting by ones all the time, to see if they can work out other strategies of counting larger groups. Do they count by 2s, 3s, 4s and so on? So here we go. I've never played it before because I've only just thought of it this afternoon. Let's see if it works. Well, here we go with Estimation Bingo. Now the idea here is not to get bingo on your sheet, it's to knock out your opponent. We've got a number range of 1 to 30 here, and with all games you can decide on the number range to suit the children. It could be 1 to 10, it could be 1 to 20, 10 to 20, up to you. I just chose 1 to 30 for our purposes here. So what happens here, I've got a tub of these counters here. So what could you use at home? You could use, well, I always go for the old jelly beans, those mini marshmallows. I don't want to advocate buying lollies all the time, but they seem to be some of the best things for using as counters. But anything where you can just grab a little handful and count them. So, and once you've got a good set, you've got them for good too, so these ones are terrific. So here's what happens. Player 1 is to grab a little handful and then put them out and count them. And if that total matches something on their opponent, they knock their opponents out. So it's not to try and get your totals, it's to get rid of your opponents. 3 in a row or the whole grid, it's up to the players to decide. So I'll just give you the basics of it here. As I said earlier, I only thought about this on this afternoon. Let's see how it goes. So my turn, I've got 1, 14, 11, 7, 8, 18, 13, 12 and 26. Now, some children like to go for the big handful every time. Let's just see how we go. I'm just going to go for a medium handful first up, and I'm going to put them down here, and I'm going to see if I can count them here. So, as always, we're trying to move away from counting just by ones. I might go by 2s here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. And there's no 15 there, but I know there's a 14. I'm going to keep that in mind for my next go. I know when I grabbed that handful, it was close to that. Maybe I should have grabbed 1. Back to player 2. There goes one more beans. Player 2. Okay, player 2 is trying to get either 6, 9, 21, 16, 15, 19, 20, 23 or 27. Here we go. And I'm going to be a bit strategic here. I'm going to go for a small handful. Hope I get 6. So we're not trying to sort of fidget around. I'm going to grab a small handful and I'll put it here, and white on white's a really good look, isn't it? Let's go. Rather than counting 1 by 1s, which is nothing wrong with that, I want to go by 3s. 3 and 3 makes 6. There we go. So I could place a counter on there or cross it off. I might just place a counter on there. So I've knocked off one of their numbers. That's a win for me. Back to player. This player's turn. They've got to try and get one of these, and they've got to catch up. So they're going to go 1, they got it. So they knock off one of theirs. Back to player 2, it's their turn. Are they going a big handful or a mid-size or a small? They're going to go mid-size. Here we go. Once again, I probably wouldn't use these and these as the same thing because it's going to get confusing. So I might cross off the numbers. There we go. Changing the game as we go. Let's see. Now it's this player knocking off one of these. Let's see what they're going to count by. They can count by 1s if they like. They might do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1. 5, 10, 15, 16. Is there a 16 there? Yes, there is. They knocked off one of their numbers. Now, and I've forgotten which player. I think I've gone the wrong order, but it doesn't matter. Let's see if this player can knock off one of theirs. Let's get rid of their counters, they're thinking, rather than just going for a handful every time, think strategically. Small, large, they're going to go large. Now, here we go. Looks alright. Are we going to count by ones or twos? This person might count by threes. 3. Oh, now let's go by fives. I like doing the fives. It's easier to bank them up. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one extra. Oh, and I know 26. That's one more than a multiple of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. Bingo. And so on. So this player knocked off one of their numbers. So we can keep playing until this player might get either 3 in a row or all of them. They can decide. This player gets 3 in a row of theirs or all of theirs. They can decide. So they have to be, rather than just grabbing a handful every time, eventually we want to be a bit strategic in how they do it. And also be strategic in the numbers that you choose on your grid. This player chose number 1, which is very easy for their opponent to pick up. When it gets past about 5 or 6, that's when it gets a bit hard to estimate. Like I just grabbed that, 5, and so on. So change the range and give it a go, and also give me some feedback. See how you change the game. I'd love to hear different ways of playing this game. Cheers.